Are you a fan of open world survival games? Or perhaps you really like zombies? Well, in that case, DeadPoly might be the perfect game for you. Now, this is a very new game and it's also in early access. But is it actually worth playing? Let's find out. I run Game Grader here, and today we're looking at DeadPoly. DeadPoly is an open world survival game, and it's very similar to other titles like Escape from Tarkov or DayZ, in that it's a looter shooter game. So in the game, you start with a frying pan and you try and survive the zombies attacking you. And like any other open world survival games, you will need to focus on gathering basic resources, find weapons, food, and even create a base. Now, DeadPoly is definitely a heavy PvP game. It does not function very well by PvP itself, as the mechanics quickly become stale and also boring when PvP is the only focus. Now, the PvE mechanics are good and fit the game, but only when you count in the fact that other players are trying to kill you. That means the resource gathering, chopping down trees, building a base, that is only fun in the context when other people are trying to kill you, in my opinion. Now, it's gotta be said, the game is very simple. It is fun, but it's very simple, and you can definitely feel it is early access. Now, the map you play on is quite small, but it is also rich in different environments and settings. It's got high points for scouting and sniping, and then areas for barricading and hiding. And there's plenty of stores and buildings to scout around and look for loot in, although most of them are fairly barren. There's also one of the issues I have. It's all in the same small city, but you have a lot of different areas, and each area of the map will also vary in danger. For instance, the military base is more difficult to get into, the zombies are more difficult but also provide better loot. DeadPoly also has cosmetics in-game like helmets you can find and then place on your character, which is a fun little minigame. DeadPoly has an in-game currency, and it adds another way to engage and progress in the game, and gives you something to work towards. So while playing the game, you can find certain items that you can then collect and then sell them to NPCs throughout the map, and then you will get currency that you can then buy other items for. Now, the game has a lot of potential. It is pretty limited in what you can do, but the gameplay that's in the game is actually a lot of fun to do. If you're the kind of player that can dump hours into making a cozy homeless base, you will adore this game. If you enjoy just collecting basic materials like metal, stone, or even wood, then you can probably get quite a few hours of enjoyment into this. Let's look at some pros and cons. So in terms of the pros, you can actually choose what you want to play. You can play solo, co-op, or PvP. You have your own choice, which is quite cool. Also, the base building is quite unique and actually quite interesting. The zombies also carry random loot, making them worth fighting. Now, some of the cons. Melee combat could definitely need some improvement. It is a bit clunky and awkward sometimes. Finding the ammo to a correct weapon can be very annoying. And also, the map is too small. Now, I get it. The game is early access, so hopefully they'll increase the size later. And of course, there are the usual bugs that comes with the territory of being an early access game. But the main con for me is the lack of content. It is a very simple game. Now, if you really enjoy these kind of games, then you can play this game a lot. But I believe for the majority of players, the amount of content will be slightly disappointing. So in terms of the grading, the first thing you're looking at is the gameplay. That's the most important thing. You can get away with basically anything as long as you have good gameplay. So here we're looking at the mechanics, the system, and does the game work as intended. And here I'm gonna give DeadPoly a C grade. It functions pretty well. There isn't too many issues. The main thing here is the lack of content. The next thing we're looking at is the graphics, the sound, and immersion. And these are actually quite nice. I like the graphics. I like what they're trying to do here, so I'm gonna give the game a B. And there are of course more visually pleasing games out there, but I like what they're trying to go for. It is a different kind of graphics, but it actually looks amazing, and I'm personally a fan of it. And next thing we're looking at is the progression, and here I'm gonna give the game a C as well. The progression is fine, it just needs to get more of it. I like how you start off early with the frying pan, and you start off collecting some more melee weapons, some better guns, and trying to find ammo, but I'd like to see more progression overall in the game. But this also ties into what I said before about the lack of content, and therefore the overall grade of DeadPoly is a C. The game has great potential. I like the graphics. The main issue for me right now is the lack of content. I believe in a few updates, maybe in a year or so time, this game could be amazing to play. I'll probably recommend buying the game on sale if you can, as I feel like 20 bucks is a bit steep in terms of how many hours of game time you will probably get from it. If you can get this game for 10 bucks or even less than that, definitely worth it. Also, the game is a lot more fun if you can play with friends, but the game has great potential. It is early access, but it's definitely a bit lagging in the content. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to check out the channel for even more game reviews, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.